we are on our lounge number 2, and I'm not alone. I am joined by an amazing gentleman doing amazing things. Yani huyu nataka tu introduce because you're going to be having a long conversation on matters art and social change, and you're going to be loving every minute of it. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
You are good. How is your Monday morning?
Monday morning is amazing. It has been amazing every time we talk about arts and education.
Yes.
It brings a lot of joy.
Yes. Wow. I like that.
Exactly.
I like that. So I want you to introduce yourself on this camera. Just tell us unaitwa nani, unafanya nini,
okay.
Then we jump right in.
Okay. My name is Gideom, Klei. I'm actually a poet, a teacher, and committed to using arts and education to bring that aspect of social change in our communities.
Yes.
You see, it's a long story when we talk about using arts and education to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor.
Yes. Amazing. So just, I think that's perfectly put. And yeah, you must be a teacher because bridging that gap is very
it's a long story.
Exactly. It's a long story. We begin to talk about it right now.
Yes.
We might end up doing this for the rest of the show.
Yes.
But I want to know, how did you get into talking about these matters, about using art and advocating for social change through art? Like ili kupata wapi in life?
You see, one thing, Karen,
yes.
Every time you talk about education, people forget to talk about the gains that comes with education. And remember, at Gatoto, with the integrated approach, we've been able to bring that aspect of making children grow by looking at all the aspects of growth, whether spiritually, whether cognitively, whether you're talking about physical growth, you're talking about any aspects of growth. So you're talking about bringing all these aspects with an aim of actually making education become more relevant to the things we're doing in the current world.
Yes, and of course, growing children that are well-rounded, all-rounded in every matter.
And thanks to CBC.
Yes, CBC. How is CBC coming
in handy? The competence-based curriculum.
Yes.
Yes,
you
it's
like
really
it.
doing a lot of amazing work.
Yes. Okay, yes. I like that. That is from a point of a teacher, so you know that he's speaking from his heart, and so if it has been of help, that's a good thing.
Exactly.
We clap to that one, and we appreciate it. So tell me about your foundation, Gatoto. Tell me, why Gatoto? Let's start from there. The name ulitoa wapi?
Exactly. Yes. Gatoto is actually a name based from a lady who used to be living at Gatoto. She is one lady who loved children, and then with that aspect also the name Gatoto came in place.
Yes.
And Gatoto is actually more than just a name because we look at it as a way of actually bringing that aspect of inclusiveness and bringing the aspect of also making people also enjoy the places where they're living.
Yes.
It's actually at the center of Mukuru.
Yes.
And Mukuru is a long stretch, one of the urban slums in Kenya.
Yes. So you started it there. What was the give me core values like of Gatoto integrated development program? What did you want it to achieve? You know, when you were putting it together, you're like, okay, I'm putting this program in to do A, B, C, D. What are some of the core values that you...
Now, when Betty Nyagoha, late Betty Nyagoha, may her soul rest in peace, when she was actually coming together with 3 other people to bring the vision of Gatoto, it was all about providing accessible quality education to underprivileged children of Mukuru Kwaruben. And I felt a lot of joy talking about this story because when Betty was actually started, it was from a very humble background. You can imagine starting a school within the 4 corners of a church.
Yes.
And how it can be amazing also to bring that story for the last 28 years.
So that has been ongoing for the last 28 years.
Exactly.
Yes. How has what developments that have happened over time? Because now that you're telling me the school literally started in the corners of a church, nyinyi mko hapo, wengine wako hapo. What developments have happened since?
Yeah, from that time, I remember it was a population of 370 children, and then from there it has grown to 1,000 children today. And beside this one also we have 2 other programs. One of them is actually the post-primary, where we provide scholarships to children to ensure that there is a smooth transition to high school. Beside this one also, we also have the community support, where we support the most vulnerable parents to be able to support their children, and also address issues to do with attendance rate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you've mentioned about transitioning and funding? How does Gatoto get their funding? Like where or how do you guys get your funding to be able to now fund these students to be able to transit?
Honestly speaking, we never get funds from the government. We've been entirely depending on the well wishers and the parents also to get their small contribution to make our programs run.
Yeah.
And it has been amazing also to see people believing in our story.
Yes.
Because every time we talk about Gatoto using its integrated approach to make it happen,
Yes.
we have seen people believe in what we're doing and coming on board to support us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Would you are there people that you can mention that have really been holding your hand or as well wishers that have really boosted your presence there or your ability to be able to help those students?
It's quite a number.
Yes.
We have individuals as well.
Yes.
And I wouldn't say we are at our best. But Gatoto is also registered as a charity in the United States. We also have a charity in the Ireland. And beside this one also we have individuals. We have Kenyan friends of Gatoto.
Yes.
Who've been believing in our story and supporting us. Yeah.
So there are many people
and
that
many
are
thanks
putting
for their support over the years.
Exactly. I know he may not be able, like he has said, some of them are organizations, others are individuals, so he may not be able to exactly mention all of them, but you know yourselves, well wishers of Gatoto, thank you so much wherever you are at, and feel appreciated for the work that you are doing, because I believe there are thousands and thousands of students getting the fruit of what you guys are putting in. So let's move on kidogo and talk about the transitioning, because you start with kids when they are small, then they go through primary school, they transition to high school. After that, like up to what level do you go with your students to be able to say now sasa tumekuachilia, get into the world and do something?
We still have some students even at Kenyatta University. We also have them in different other colleges. We also have them in Maseno. We have Kabarak University. We have Moi University.
Yeah.
Beside this one also, we also have our students all over in different schools, secondary schools in Kenya.
Yeah.
And it has been so amazing every time when you see them come also as an alumni to give support to the programs that we're doing currently at Gatoto. It has been so amazing also to see them spread our story of actually using arts and education to make it happen.
Yeah. Wow, I like that. So that means even when they are up to university level, they still come back to, ensure that they are being part and parcel of the program that brought them up.
Exactly.
Yes, wow, I like that one. Moving on to still matters alumnus and students. Do you have any students that have cleared campus and are now working?
Yes, we have some in the parliament. There are others who actually in the health sector.
Yeah.
We have others who are also teachers and teaching at Gatoto. We also have others who are business people.
Yeah.
We have social entrepreneurs at the same time. So it is actually a diverse kind of a group.
Yes.
Where you bring in the aspect of like venturing into different areas of expertise.
Exactly. So apart from just helping students, it feels like you guys have also employed people, because now when people come, teachers come in on board, do you consider, are they from anywhere or are they from Mukuru Karube?
It's from all over the country. But also alumni also come in, volunteer for some time before joining campus. And it has been a practice for the last 15 years.
For the last 15 years. I like that. How are you bringing, let's go to art and how you're bringing art in to be able to communicate, matters social change. Let's start with what forms of art do you use? Because art is very broad. There's drawing, there's poetry, there's a lot that goes on in art. Exactly. So what types of art do you guys use?
First of all, in the new curriculum, arts is actually given space because we're talking about that child who has a competence in drawing. He's given that specific opportunity to also do the same.
Yes.
That child also who is very good in singing is given chance to do so. That child who is also poetic. That child also wants to do different forms of art. It's a lesson on its own in the new curriculum.
Yes.
And beside this one also, we have entered our students into the Kenya Music Festivals. One of the biggest festivals, I know, Karen, you know.
Yes, I
Kenya
do.
Music Festival is one of the festivals that you can never fail to talk about.
Yes.
Here in Kenya, and also in Eastern African region, and in Africa, and also in the world. And our students have been featuring prominently into the festival by staging different forms of art, be it instrumentals, be it choral music, be it poetry. We also have been doing public speaking. Like recently, we got several awards in Kenya in the recently Kenya National Music Festivals that were held at Kisumu. And this is some of the things that Gatoto focuses more on, in addition to what you're doing in class. And this is all because of the integrated approach, by making children also harvest all the gains that comes with education, as opposed to just subjecting them into just one line of adventure. We want them to also realize that you can also make it in other fields.
Yes. You have mentioned CBC a number of times, and I know Gatoto started way before CBC came. So how do you feel CBC has made it easy, for you guys to actually, do what you do, integrate a lot of art, integrate a lot of forms of art that can be able to make a student more wholesome in their life? How has CBC been of help?
It has been of help because it has actually actualized our part of our dream of providing accessible, quality, holistic education. And in that aspect, that means we are nurturing every learner's potential and bringing everything, appreciating everyone in the community. If you're good in this particular point of view, someone else is good in this other particular point of view, we are able to actually build our community together, as opposed to how it used to be before, where you find that if you're not good in math and science,
that's it, you're done for.
You're done.
Yes, because I remember our math teacher, this was some form of a scare, but we were told if you do not pass mathematics, there's nowhere you're going. Like whatever you wanna be, math is at the center of it. And I think the only reason I passed math was out of fear, because I knew that I did not want to pursue accounts or any mathematics related course. But then it seemed like for me to be able to pursue whatever it is that I wanted, math had to be at the center of it. But I feel now that CBC has brought it to be more flexible, that it is not a must. Math is good because we need accountants, we need a lot of courses have math, engineering, even doctors, so we need it and it's important. But there's a whole chunk that is not really interested in those kinds of courses. So I like that about it. You've talked about different talents and how you are nurturing them, so I want us to get into the vocal competition that is ongoing. One, tell me what brought that about, like what inspired that? How did you put it together? You're like, okay, we have a number of vocalists that we would like to get into a competition. What exactly inspired that before we get into what is going to happen this Saturday?
A lot of things happen, and sometimes some things go unnoticed. And thanks to Kenya Classical Singers Organization for actually making this happen, because sometimes people forget that there is power in singing. And that is the beauty that lies behind the music that we always listen to. And that first informs the passion to have this happen. And beside this one also, there is also the aspect of bringing the beauty of culture. You see, at most times, people in the community, sometimes they don't realize we have something so beautiful, especially when talk about people coming on board and presenting what they love most. They love most. And the beauty of culture lies beyond the beholder. I would say when people come together, there's a blessing. When people come together, there is an achievement. When people come together, there is that beauty of interaction. And Kenya Classical Singers Organization thought of this widely, and so there was a benefit. There was also a reason why people should come together, share together the joy of music, and see the beauty that lies behind our voices, because some people don't realize that our voices are amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know they are. I have listened to amazing singers from this country here, not even at the elsewhere, from here. And I think that was a good idea from Kenya Classical Singers. I like that organization. How did you, what is your role in the partnership? Like in partnership with Gatoto, what are you guys providing, or what are you guys playing part in order to be part of this vocal competition?
Yeah, it's a partnership, and all the proceeds from the festival will actually go to Gatoto. And thanks for the president, the vice president, the team, the Kenya Classical Singers Organization for seeing our story and seeing the best way you can actually build the community is to invest in education. Because it's very few people in the community who will see education and see education. It's something that is tangible, that can really influence a lot of things. And we have these famous people like Nelson Madiba Mandela, who at one point said that education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. An educated person is someone who is actually enabled, is a person who can actually drive so many things, is someone who can unlock different potentials. And Kenya Classical Singers Organization, I've seen it worthy to use their vocal voice to bring a blessing in the field of education. And that's why we're saying it's a vocal competition to promise an education to an underprivileged child in the informal community.
Exactly. I like that. I wanted to ask you something that is probably out of here, but I have seen it work, and I want to know if Gatoto are tapping into that talent. I've seen a lot of children, or rather kids, in the informal settlements as very good dancers. I do not know if it's a talent of some sort, but they can really put together a nice dance. Is Gatoto tapping into that?
Gatoto has been mentioned thrice, best overall primary school in Kenya at the Kenya Music Festivals. And that one tells you already that our children love arts and music. And additionally, we are the best school also in academics. So there is that balance of integrated kind of approach. And our children are also talented in different fields. Like, I would wish viewers to come on board and see our choir perform that Saturday at All Saints Cathedral.
Yes, I am excited now that you have brought us to this vocal competition. Like you can see on your screens, guys, it will be happening at 3 p.m. I'm going to be giving you those details in just a bit, because I want them to be given in person by Gideon. So this vocal competition, since when has it been happening?
It has been a competition from grassroots right away from June. And it's like finals now. So viewers will be getting the best out of the best.
Exactly. So amazing. So this has been ongoing since June. This is not a one-day event. This is a competition that has been going on since June of this year. So that can tell you this is almost 5 months of work.
5 months. You can imagine.
Of investment. Of investment. Of knocking each other out in those competitions to get the best. So this Saturday they're going to be having their finals, and you're going to be getting the best of the best of the best. Where will the competition be?
It's going down at All Saints Cathedral.
At what time?
From 3 p.m.
From 3 p.m.
East African time. And guys who are not in Kenya can also log in and get their tickets and bless a child somewhere and put a smile on that child at Mukuru.
Yes. Wow, I love that. So at All Saints Cathedral on the 12th of November, that is this Saturday. The date, the payment is just 1,000 bob. Adults are just getting in for 1,000 bob. Okay? Students are paying 500 shillings, so you don't have an excuse. If you have an ID, you are a student, just 500 bob, and you're going to be getting all that. It's also going to be 1,500 bob at the door, like you can see at the poster, and the till number is right there. I'm going to be repeating that in our art calendar, but you can pick it right now. Okay, You can get that. Also to mention that all proceeds will be going to Gatoto Community School. All right. So this one is not just you will not just be entertained, but you will be helping a child somewhere be able to proceed with their education, be able to be more all-rounded, be able to get a blessing to even transition. Like now with the CBC, there's a lot of transitioning from lower primary to upper primary. Then there's junior high school. There's a lot of transition happening, which means more money.
Yeah, that is it. A lot of resources.
Yes, a lot of resources are required by Gatoto Community School to be able to help these students, transition from one stage to another. Another one, does a student from Gatoto Community School need to belong to Mukuru kwa Ruben? Is that a requirement?
It's Mukuru kwa Ruben and its environs.
So even the neighbors of Mukuru kwa Ruben can be able to benefit from this. All right. So maybe a parent is out there and wondering, sijaisikiana niko huku either in Mukuru kwa Ruben ama in the neighborhood. What is usually the process of a kid joining Gatoto Community School?
In the starting of every academic year, we have some admissions, and students and parents can also seek a chance to join the school, and we also want to make education more accessible based on the available resources that we have.
So look out, every start of every academic year you guys take some students exactly. So please do that and know that this is an opportunity that you have been given, so go make use of it. For the rest of us that are here, and you can be able to get a ticket at 500 bob if you're a student, 1000 bob and you are an adult, or 1500 bob at the gate. All these proceeds will be going to Gatoto Community College, Community School, and you are going to actually be part and parcel of a child's life, of a child's education system. I like that. I want us to go to social media handles. Where can guys find you? Tukimaliza.
We are on Facebook, Gatoto Integrated Development Program. We are on Instagram as Gatoto School is Online. We are on Twitter, Gatoto School 1. And then also we are on YouTube at Gatoto School TV.
So they are everywhere. I like that one for YouTube, because that you can go and subscribe. So if you're not, you will not be in a position to get to get a ticket or to be around, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. You've said it's Gatoto?
Gatoto School TV.
Gatoto School TV.
They can also check our website.
Exactly.
www.gatoto.org. And get our amazing stories there.
Exactly. You can find all those stories there. You can go to YouTube. You can like. You can subscribe. Share with your, with your colleagues, with your friends. All of them. You can go share and make sure that you have supported a kid to move to the next stage of life. I think I am done. Unless there's something you want to say to wrap up. What would you like to talk to parents about? Because I believe even in catering for Mukuru kwa Ruben and the neighborhood, you have gotten to learn some basic things that students or pupils might be in need of, that you can talk to parents about.
Exactly. There's this beauty of arts and education, and I would simply encourage people to also appreciate that our children are multi-talented, the best in all aspects of growth, and as Gatoto, we would want people to just appreciate that and bridge that gap and actually commit to make education become more beneficial to them, so that in the long run we are able to bring that impact that we want to see in Kenya. Because a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and with these children actually having a voice in education, it's actually making them realize all the gains that come with education in the long run.
Yes, thank you so much. I hope every parent out there is listening to this and actually purposing to invest in their children's life. Otherwise, Gideon, thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
It's been a pleasure being here. We are going to share that poster widely and just make sure that people come, that people give all their proceeds to make sure that we are supporting a student somewhere be able to continue with their education and